Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility on this Wednesday, new review day. This is the show where we take a look at some new releases that kind of cross the genres that we cover here on the channel. Progressive rock, hard rock, all forms of metal, prog metal, power metal, traditional metal, black metal, death metal, progressive metal. I think I already said that. Progressive rock, jazz fusion, classic rock, hard rock. Yes, yes, yes. I think I've said them all over and over and over again. This latest release is a solo album from a guy, a guitarist, songwriter from a band from Detroit, Michigan, who have been around for quite a while, but they're kind of, I guess, on hiatus. They haven't released anything in quite some time. The band is Tiles. The guitar player is Chris Herin. He's got a brand new solo album, like I mentioned, on the Laser's Edge, Ken Golden's Laser's Edge label. He's just going by the name of Herin for this. Hiding in Plain Sight. New solo album from Chris Herin from Tiles. For those of you not familiar with Tiles, like I said, they are a prog rock band from Detroit. Very much in the style of, like, I always compare them. They're kind of like the American version of Rush, sort of. Very highly influenced by Rush. That whole kind of like prog meets hard rock type of thing. Tiles have lots of great albums. Go check them out. But like I said, they haven't released anything new in, geez, I think like 8 years or something like that. But apparently Chris has been working on this one for a while. You may recognize that kind of cover style, cover art. It's Hugh Syme, of course, who worked with Rush quite a lot throughout their career. You can see a polar bear off in the distance. Don't know if you can make that out. There you go. Yeah, Hugh worked on this album with Chris, as well as a guy you might have heard of co-producing the album, Terry Brown. That's right, Terry Brown and Chris produced the album. Terry, of course, also worked with Rush quite a bit, especially early on in their career, right? So let's take a look at the booklet here. So Chris, like I mentioned, songwriter, guitar player for Tiles. There he is. But instead of putting together like an actual band for this, it's a true solo album. He plays lots of guitars, electric and acoustic guitars and things, but he's brought in a whole host of friends to help him along the way to complete his vision for these songs. A lot of people you've probably heard of. We've got 11 tracks on this album. I wouldn't say this is prog, though. There is prog on this album, but this is more, to me, it's little bits of prog. It's certainly a good amount of hard rock, classic rock. There's some pop on here. There's some kind of mellower, atmospheric stuff. A little bit of everything, lots of variety. All of it really, really good. And like I said, lots of cool players on here. So the first track is called Warning Signs, featuring, obviously, Chris on guitars, but we've got on lead vocals Michael Sadler from Saga, of course. We've got some of the guys from Cosmo Squad, of course, the great instrumental rock fusion band, featuring, of course, Jeff Coleman on lead guitar. You got Kevin Chown on bass, Shane Gallus on drums. Pretty dynamite stuff. There's a really good track here. You pick up Michael Sadler like immediately. Can't miss him. And of course, some ripping guitars from Mr. Coleman. Bass and drums are great. It's a really good, tight, I guess, prog rock, hard rock song. Really great way to start the album. Next, we got The Darkest Hour. This is more, I guess you could call it prog, but it's kind of like folk prog. It features this guy named Mark McKell on lead vocals. He shows up a couple places on the album. He's got a really nice voice. He's also from the Detroit area. And or maybe this is just the only song that he's featured on. Yeah, this is the only song he's featured on. I'm sorry. There's just so many people playing on here. And also we've got Martin Barr, formerly of Jethro Tull. Dawn Perry on drums, also formerly of Jethro Tull. Also, let's see who else plays on this. Kevin Chown also plays on this. On bass, let's see. Yeah, that's basically the group here. So you got lead guitars, flute, and mandolin by Martin Barr. This is a very Tull-sounding track. It's kind of like reminds me of like Heavy Horses, Songs from the Wood era Jethro Tull. Really good vocals from this guy, Mark McKell. Really good melodic vocals. There's a killer guitar solo from Martin. Lots of nice textures from both Martin and Chris. The drums are really good. Very nice song. I like it quite a bit. That's really good. Living in the Night features the great Matthew Parmenter on lead vocals, of course, from the band Discipline. I know Discipline and Tiles go way back, both two stalwart bands from the 90s, right? We've also got John O'Hara plays on this particular track as well. He plays keyboards. John O'Hara, of course, I believe it's the same John O'Hara who's played with Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull currently. Who else is on here? Mark McKell on backing vocals. We got Tim Mischling on oboe and English horn. And then electric and acoustic guitars and mandolin from Chris. This is also a really nice song. You know, Matthew Parmenter's just got this very unmistakable voice. You know it's like, he reminds me of kind of like a more melodic Peter Hamill, right? Much more melodic Peter Hamill. And that kind of like tortured anguish type of thing, but it's just really good, very emotional. Living in the Night's very cool song. Then we've got The Heart of You comes up next, featuring Terry Sampson, right, on lead and backing vocals. Terry Sampson, sorry. And then on electric and acoustic guitars and banjo, Chris Herin. And then on lead guitar, none other than Peter Frampton. Yes, that's right, the Peter Frampton, Kevin Chown on bass, and Ben Riley on drums. Good vocals on here. This is more of kind of like just a melodic hard rock song with some pop leanings, and what a tasty, memorable melodic guitar solo from Peter Frampton, which fits right in. Just exactly what you'd expect from him. Really good song, The Heart of You. Very catchy. That's one of the tracks on this album that I think has potential, like, you know, radio potential, of course, in a perfect world, right? Then we've got Secret Adversary is up next. That features Randy McStein on lead vocals, and Randy is from a band. He does Lo-Fi Resistance, that some of you may have heard. It's kind of like a one-man band type of thing. He's a guitarist and a vocalist. Very good voice. He also was part of the touring band for Porcupine Tree recently. This track, Secret Adversary, is really good. Also features guitars from Kim Mitchell, who plays alongside Chris Herin, plays the guitar solo, really good. This is a good, upbeat, again, very melodic and hooky hard rock song. And I will say Randy McStein is featured on a couple tracks on this album. He is perhaps my favorite singer on this album, because I think his voice fits perfectly with the type of songs that Chris has written here. This is a really catchy, just good, like, melodic rock song. Really good. Secret Adversary, check it out. A Wrinkle in Time comes up next. Randy's featured on that one as well. He sounds amazing. This one's a little bit longer track. This is like 6 minutes and change. We got Adam Gust on drums, Kevin Chown again on bass, and then you've got Chris on guitars, and then Randy on lead and backing vocals, and Hugh Simon, Chris on keyboards. Another really good, memorable track with a really good chorus. Again, some of these songs, again, it's not really prog, but, you know, kind of like, think of Flying Colors, right? The band Flying Colors, how that's kind of like this mix of like hard rock, pop, and prog. That's kind of what you get here. All very memorable stuff. Then you got Second Ending comes up next, and that features, again, Matthew Parmenter, once again, on lead vocals. This is much more of a kind of like a Celtic theme, like folk rock type of song, on acoustic guitars. And what else is he playing on here? Acoustic guitars and, hold on, guitar soundscapes, none other than Mr. Alex Lifeson from Rush. Although, if you didn't know it was him, probably couldn't tell, because he's not doing any riffy stuff. He's not doing like you know, this amazing solo or what have you. This song is not about that. But again, you got these really great vocals and violin, of course, from Matthew Parmenter. Again, so unmistakable, and then all these different layers from Alex, which, you know, if you listen to some of the more recent stuff he has done since Rush kind of called it quits, he seems more about that, creating textures and things instead of doing the stuff he did in Rush. Yeah, you gotta give him credit for that, but I was kind of expecting something a little bit differently, but didn't really get it here. Then next we've got Safe House Isolation, which features Tim Bonus and Colin Edwin, of course, you know, ties to Porcupine Tree and Steven Wilson and whatnot, and probably my least favorite song on the album. I'm not always a fan of Tim's vocal style. This song is very kind of moody and laid back, and kind of, it's almost depressing to an extent. not so bad. It's probably the one track on here I'm not just connecting with. But then we got Slow to Crumble is up next. That's terrific. That features the guys from Crown Lands, which, let me see if I can make out their names here. They've got everything's written in black. It's just crazy. Cody Bowles, and who else? We've got drums, Ben Riley, Kevin Chown, Chris on guitars, additional rhythm guitars. You got, jeez, I can't read this. Sorry, guys. It's like microscopic. Kevin Comio and Cody Bowles on lead vocals, backing vocals, Mark McKell. So I guess those two dudes are the guys from Crown Lands. I forget what their names are. But anyway, this is a really good song. If you like Crown Lands, this is very similar to what they've done. You know, that their last album sounds very much like classic Rush. I wouldn't say this is overly sounding too much like Rush, but similar to what Crown Lands has done before. Really good song. Very, very catchy. Slow to Crumble. Another one of my favorites here. Then you got Wilderness Years featuring Randy McStein on lead vocals again. This is much, much more of an atmospheric kind of emotional song. Not as much intensity as the other tracks, but still really good. His vocals are outstanding. And then finishing it out, we've got White Dandelions, which features Matthew Parmenter on vocals, and Jonathan Blake and Walter White. And another kind of slower, more atmospheric stuff, but it builds like around the halfway point, picks up a little bit too. Really, really nice. This is a very strong album, and I'm amazed at how, like, the more you listen to it, the more these songs like stick in your head. And it's funny because it's not really what I expected at all. You know, you have all these guest stars, and you know, I know Tiles pretty well, and it's not, you know, it's everybody here has a purpose, and they serve the songs rather than say, okay, I'm the big guest star, I'm going to just kind of come in and wow you with something and then leave. It's not like that at all. It's like he brought everybody in with this intention of, this is the song I'm going to have you featured in, but yet I wrote the song specifically for your talents. That's the way it comes across. But it's not like, you know, here, sing up a storm, play up a storm, and just, you know, hi, I'm here type of thing. No, here's the song, here's what we're going to do. I know your talents will accentuate what we got here, but we want you to put in contributions that just help the song come to life. And that's what it is. So really, really good stuff here. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 easily. Again, little smidgens of prog, but it's not really a prog album, but just a really good, memorable, hard rock, melodic rock, pop album with some folk touches and some prog touches. That's what it is. Well recorded, really well recorded, and lots of memorable songs. You know, the only one thing here that I don't get, I know he wrote all the songs, but it's almost like you forget that Chris is like the mastermind behind this, and he's featured on every track. His great guitar textures and riffs and things are all over the place, but this album, it's like it's not really about him. It's about this ensemble that he's put together. So, you know, part of it's almost like you forget that this is a Chris Herin solo album. But I guess in the end, it's okay, right? The end result is we got lots of cool, memorable songs. So yeah, go check it out. Herin, from Chris Herin, Hiding in Plain Sight on Laser's Edge. LaserCD.com is the place you can go get this. Of course, I believe it this streets this Friday, so you'll want to go get your order in as quickly as possible, because I know these will be going pretty quick. So really, really good stuff. Very enjoyable. Like I said, this will be just a really, really good set of tunes that I think anybody could get into. So go check them out as the police go driving by my house. Sorry I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Anyway, go check it out and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility Join Now membership options, all available down below. Thank you all in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.